Good afternoon everyone, myself Priyanshi and today I am going to give presentation on the topic the representation of patriarchy in Buchi Emecheta's The Choice of Motherhood and Sefi Atta's Everything Good Will Come. These are my personal information and hypothesis and research question. So the choice of motherhood by Buchi Emecheta and Everything Good Will Come by Sefi Atta present distinct yet interconnected portrayals of patriarchy, reflecting both the persistence of gender oppression and the evolving resistance of women in Nigerian society. While Emecheta's work highlights the tragic consequence of patriarchal constraint on motherhood and economic dependence, Atta's novel explore a more modern and assertive forms of female agency. The study assumes that both authors critique patriarchal structure, but Atta's narrative offers a more progressive vision of feminist empowerment compared to Emecheta's depiction of resignation and suffering. Research question: how do Buchi Emecheta's The Choice of Motherhood and Sefi Atta's Everything Good Will Come depict and critique patriarchal structure? And in what ways do their narrative reflects the evolving roles, struggles and resistance of women in Nigerian society within the context of colonialism, modernity and feminist empowerment? Here my table of the contents. So first, introduction. I start my presentation with the Bell Hooks' views on what is patriarchy. According to him, patriarchy is a political social system that insists that males are inherently dominating, superior to everything and everyone deemed weak, especially females, and endowed with the right to dominate and rule over the weak and to maintain that dominance through various forms of psychological terrorism and violence. Buchi Emecheta was a Nigerian-born writer whose work focuses on the experience of African women, particularly regarding themes of motherhood, independence and the challenges posed by patriarchal societies. Also, her narratives have sustained her as one of the most vigorous African female voices of overt feminist inclinations. On the other side, Sefi Atta, acclaimed author and playwright of Nigeria, educated in Nigeria, England, and she transitioned from a career in finance to writing. Her debut novel Everything Good Will Come won the Wallace Prize for Literature in Africa, marking her as a bold and courageous writer ready to make her mark in the Nigerian literary landscape. So overall, both authors have significantly contributed to African literature by providing nuanced portrayal of women's lives, challenging patriarchal norms, and advocating for social transformation through their storytelling. Then overview of the both novels. So first one is The Joy of Motherhood by Buchi Emecheta. So in the novel The Choice of Motherhood narrates the life of Nnu Ego, a Nigerian woman whose identity and societal worth are deeply intertwined with her ability to bear children, particularly sons. Central themes include the societal pressure on women to fulfill traditional roles, the sacrifice inherent in motherhood, and the tension between personal desire and communal expectations. Emecheta critically examines the romanticized notion of motherhood, highlighting the paradoxes and challenges that accompany it. Then the second novel is Everything Good Will Come by Sefi Atta. So Everything Good Will Come is a coming of age story set in post-independence Nigeria. Following Enitan, a young woman navigating the complexities of a patriarchal society. So the novel explores her relationship, personal growth and the societal constraints imposed on women. Themes such as gender inequality, personal freedom and the impact of political unrest on individual lives are intricately woven throughout the narratives. So Atta presents a nuanced portrayal of women's struggle for autonomy and self-discovery amidst societal expectations. Then understanding patriarchy. So what is patriarchy? So according to Green Giona, the term patriarchy originated from a By this, the father dominates other member of the extended family's kinship network and controls the economic production of the household. In the views of Joseph Goldrich, defines patriarchy as any practice and systems that oppress, control, or dominate women. Also, Sylvia Wolby described patriarchy as a system of social structure and patriarchy in which men dominate, oppress, and exploit women. Jan Effigelobi upholds that the African traditional society is a patriarchal society, characterized by current and historical unequal power relationship between women and men, where women are systematically disadvantaged, and hegemony, subjugation, and subversion are all factors of patriarchy. Influence and control in order to conquer and make less important. Then patriarchal structures in the novels. So traditional gender roles and expectation. So in the novel The Joys of Motherhood, Emecheta portrays a society where a woman's value is predominantly measured by her ability to bear children, especially sons. The protagonist Nnu Ego internalizes these expectations, believing that motherhood is her ultimate purpose. These social pressures reinforce traditional gender roles, confining women to domestic sufferer and limiting their personal aspirations. On the other side, similarly, in the novel, the Everything Good Will Come, Atta depicts the protagonist Enitan as she challenges the conventional expectations imposed on Nigerian women. The novel illustrates the tension between societal norms and individual desire, showcasing the protagonist's struggle to define her identity beyond traditional roles. Continue. Marriage, motherhood, and the female experience. Emecheta's narrative delves into the complexities of marriage and motherhood within a patriarchal context. Nnu Ego's experience reveals that while motherhood is glorified, it often leads to personal sacrifice and unfulfilled desire. In contrast, Atta's Everything Good Will Come presents a protagonist who navigates the challenges of marriage and motherhood while seeking personal autonomy. The novel critiques the societal expectations that confine women to specific roles, highlighting the protagonist's journey towards self-realization and empowerment. Then another is economic and social restriction on women. So both novels shed light on the economic and social constraints imposed on women by patriarchal system. In The Choice of Motherhood, Nnu Ego's economic dependence on her husband and the limited opportunities available to her exemplify the systematic barriers that restrict women's financial autonomy. This dependence perpetuates a cycle of subjugation, limiting women's ability to assert their agency. Similarly, in Everything Good Will Come, Atta portrays the societal structure that hinder women's economic independence, emphasizing the protagonist's struggle against this limitation. Then female characters' response to patriarchy. Nnu Ego's life is shaped by traditional expectations of womanhood, where her value is tied to bearing sons. And her motherhood brings new struggle of economic hardship and limited autonomy. And similarly, Enitan's resist patriarchal expectations growing up in post-independence Nigeria. She challenges gender norms through education, self-expression, and rejection of submissiveness. And her journey reflects a feminist effort to redefine identity and dismantle oppressive structure. Comparative analysis of the strategy of resistance and conformity. So these comparisons reveals the diverse strategies women use to navigate patriarchy, showcasing both the struggle and possibilities in their response. Through Nnu Ego and Enitan, Emecheta and Atta presents a nuanced exploration of conformity and resistance in women's experience. Then themes of feminism and empowerment in the both novel. as their primary identity, and Atta's Everything Good Will Come portrays a more progressive feminist vision, focusing on the protagonist's journey towards self-discovery and autonomy, role of female solidarity, friendship and support networks. In the choice of motherhood, female relationship provide emotional support amidst oppressive circumstances, highlighting the importance of solidarity in coping with patriarchal pressure. On the other side, Everything Good Will Come underscores the significance of friendship and support networks in empowering women. The protagonist aligns with other women serve as catalysts for personal growth and resistance against societal expectations. Pathway to empowerment amidst patriarchal constraints. So, Emecheta's narrative demonstrates that despite societal limitation, women find subtle ways to assert their agency and influence within their communities. So, basically, collectively, these novels offer nuanced portraits of feminism and empowerment, emphasizing the roles of solidarity, personal agency, and resilience in challenging patriarchal structure. Then, impact of colonialism and modernity. What is colonialism? Colonialism is the direct and comprehensive sovereignty of one country by another on state power by foreign country. For example, the direct and overall domination of Nigeria by Britain. The main purpose of colonialism is political domination. The second purpose of foreign power was opportunistic in the utilization of resources of the colonialized countries. So, in the novel, The Choice of the Motherhood, Nnu Ego's expectations of motherhood are both rooted in pre-colonial traditions and shaped by the colonial experience, creating a complex and ultimately oppressive situation. And on the other side, the novel Everything Good Will Come shows how colonial structure and attitudes continue to shape societal expectation and opportunities for women. Enitan's struggle for independence is influenced by the historical context of colonial and post-colonial Nigeria. Comparative analysis. Similarities in the representation of patriarchy. So, in the both similarities. Both novels depict patriarchy's control over women's life, and both novels also emphasize societal pressure on women and consequences of non-conformity. The novel The Choice of the Motherhood, it shows Nnu Ego's worth tied to childbirth. On the other side, Everything Good Will Come, it highlights Enitan's struggle against traditional norms. Difference in narrative style and feminist vision. Difference narrative style in Emecheta's The Choice of Motherhood. So basically, it follows a realistic style, critiquing the glorification of motherhood. On the other side, Atta's Everything Good Will Come follows first person, offering an introspective and conversational tone, and feminist visioning The Choice of Motherhood. So it basically feminism as a critique of systematic oppression, but offers limited escape. And other side, Everything Good Will Come shows feminism advocates for self-liberation, education and political awareness. Conclusion. So both the novel The Choice of Motherhood and Everything Good Will Come highlights the impact of patriarchy on women's life, exploring themes of oppression, resistance and empowerment. While Nnu Ego succumbs to societal expectation, Enitan challenges gender norms, reflecting different response to patriarchal constraints. The novel also examines marriage, motherhood, economic restriction, and the role of female solidarity in navigating these challenges. So, Emecheta presents a tragic critique of internalization patriarchy, where Atta offers a more hopeful visions of resistance and self-empowerment. So, colonialism and modernity further shape gender roles, illustrating shifting notions of womanhood in Nigeria. Ultimately, both novels emphasize the persistence of systematic inequality while celebrating women's resilience and the ongoing struggle for gender equality. These are my references.